Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Vic, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this cute shake card. So I've got two pieces of white cards, and then I'm going to be using the Stinkin Cute clear stamp set. I think the images are so sweet, and then I'm using the Love Intertwined die. So I'm just going to pop that die down onto my first piece of card, and then I've got some washi tape, so I'm just going to pop this onto my die as I'm running it through my die cutting machine. This will make sure it doesn't move. And both these pieces of card are A6. So now I'm just running that through my Big Shot machine, just going to remove the die very gently, and then we're going to be working on the first piece of card. So I've gone ahead and I've got some pink card, and I've run that through my machine again because I'm going to be popping this over the top of my shaker. So now I've got that negative space, and I'm just going to flip this over, and I've gone ahead and trimmed down a piece of acetate so that fits nicely behind that card, and I'm using some double-sided tape, so I'm going to pop this all around the edges of the card, and then I'm going to place the acetate piece over this. So your acetate piece will be behind the love part that you've die cut. So now I've flipped it over again to the right side, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that pink die cut piece that I cut out earlier, just using some PVA glue, and then I'm just going to pop this on top of the piece that we've been working on. And I'm just going to gently press down lightly with my fingers just to make sure that that's nice and adhered. And then once that has dried, I'm going to flip this back over and we can start working on the shaker. So I'm using some thick double-sided foam tape, and I'm going around all the edges, making sure that the foam is touching each side, and this is to make sure we don't have any sequins come flying out once you start shaking the card. So now I'm just going to remove all the tape, and I've got a powder tool here, so I'm just using that across the edges, and what this does is it removes the stickiness, so the sequins shouldn't stick to the sides of the tape. And the fun part, we're going to go ahead and fill up our shaker part. So I've used sequins, some little gems, anything pretty really, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill up the centre of this shaker. And now I'm going to grab that other piece of card, and I'm just popping this onto the back, just trying to line it up as best as I can. Don't worry if you don't get it perfect, you can always trim the back. And our shaker part is now complete. So I'm going to be doing some watercolouring, and I have this Strathmore Bristol paper. This is a smooth paper, and then I'm going in with a waterproof ink, which you will definitely need if you're watercolouring. I'm going to be using my Misty because I need to stamp this twice. I think it's the paper, the first time it stamps it's not that crisp, so I've just got my stamp ready. I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm just going to press down and stamp my image, and I'm going to repeat this for every stamp that I've used. So here you can see that it does darken the image quite a bit. So next I'm going to go ahead and stamp out all the images, and then I'm also going to be using the Happy Mail Critters stamp set. There's a really cute raccoon and a little bird, so I've gone ahead and used them, and I'm using my watercolours here. This palette, it is quite expensive, the little pans come out, but obviously they're watercolour, so they are not going to be very strong. So I'm going to start, and I'm just going over my images with the grey first, and then I'm going to darken up the grey, adding some more black. And these are quite chalky once they dry, so if you like that look, that's absolutely fine. I went ahead and just added a thicker layer because I wanted the black to be quite black, so that's what I've gone ahead and done. And then I've just added in their eyes because I went over the eyes with the watercolour. You can't really see it. So I have a jelly roll pen and I'm going to be using that, and then I've got a black pen, so just to draw in their little pupils. And then I have the coordinating dies, so I'm just going to run them through my die cutting machine. And then I have some foam pads, and I'm just going to pop these behind my images and adhere them onto my card. And then my card base, I've got some double-sided tape, so I'm going to just pop some of that onto my card base, and then I'm going to pick up my panel and adhere this down. And the easiest way I find is just turning it and trying to line it up. And next I'm going to be doing my sentiments, so I'm using the Happy Mail Critters stamp set, and on there there's a thinking of you, and I really like that little sentiment. I think it's really sweet. So I've got some plain black card, just picking up that stamp with my acrylic block. I've used Versamark ink, and then I've got some white embossing powder, just laying that over the top, and then I'll go ahead and heat set this with my heat gun. I'm then going to use my little paper trimmer and trim this down, and I've applied some foam pads to the back of this, and then I'm just placing it over the love shaker part, and that finishes up our card today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.